Countdown Till Christmas is brought to you by Princess Grams. Personalized, magical, musical greetings from your favorite characters. Learn more and send one at princessgrams.com. Hello again. Thank you for coming back to see us today. And are you ready to decorate, sing, and share another story? Oh, good. Me too. Well, why don't we start by finding out what's in our Advent calendar for today, December 22nd. Okay, Sasha. Oh, I better let her down. She doesn't like it when I move around too much. All right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, wow. This one is a very special one. And it's our very own nativity scene. We've seen many of these in different countries, and this one is made of carved olive wood. Well, where should we put it on our Christmas tree? Let's find a place. How about right here? Yes, that looks like a nice place for our nativity scene. You know, some people say that one of the Magi who came to Bethlehem was from Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is another Orthodox country, like Ukraine, which we talked about yesterday, where Christmas is celebrated on January 7th. In Ethiopia, Christmas is mainly a religious holiday called Gena, and it also features candles like we've seen in so many other holiday celebrations. If you remember, we talked about Sweden, Santa Lucia, and also in Norway there's a custom with candles, and of course Hanukkah. Well, in Ethiopia, for Gena, people often wear traditional or cultural dress made of white cotton cloth to celebrate. And like we talked about in Congo, the Ethiopian Christmas Eve service can last all night. Sometimes from 6 o'clock at night on Christmas Eve until 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day. Well, part of the service includes a candlelit procession, walking 3 times around the church. Celebrations also include a lot of good food, including a special spicy stew called wat, games, including one that is also called gena, which is kind of like hockey, and, of course, time with loved ones. There are many languages spoken in Ethiopia, and one of them is called Amharic. And if you'd like to wish someone a Merry Christmas in Amharic, you say, Melkam Gena. Do you want to try that with me? Melkam, Melkam Gena, Gena, Melkam Gena, Melkam Gena. Very nice. Well, why don't we continue our celebration today with some more singing? And today I thought we could sing some of the very first songs we learned together. We Wish You a Merry Christmas and Deck the Halls. Would you like to sing those with me? Great. Well, we'll sing each one time through, okay? And for We Wish You a Merry Christmas, we'll sing the newer verse that we learned a few days ago. So it'll go one verse of We Wish You a Merry Christmas, one verse of Good Tidings We Bring to You and Your Kin, and one verse of Now Bring Us Some Figgy Pudding. Oh, bring some out here. Are you ready? We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring some out here. Very nice. Well, how about we try singing Deck the Halls now? And as a reminder, the lyrics for that one are, Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la la. Okay, so are you ready to try that one with me? Dum-ba-dum. Let's start there. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Oh, very good. I always enjoy singing, and it makes me so happy to have you sing with me. Well, tomorrow we'll sing some more, but right now, it's time for our story of the day. It's called Old Father Christmas by J.H. Ewing. And we're going to read most of the story, but we're going to skip a few parts, so I'll just give you a little recap. In this story, an older man is reminiscing. He's telling us about a very special Christmas from his childhood when he was 8 years old. It takes place in 1830, and the children in this story had never experienced a Christmas like the kind that many of us are used to. And if you remember, we talked on December 11th about Christmas trees. Well, during that time, many people didn't actually have a Christmas tree in their home, and they may never have received Christmas presents. So that's the situation for these children that we're going to read about today. The custom of Christmas trees came from Germany. I can remember when they were first introduced into England and what wonderful things we thought them. Now, every village school has its tree, and people openly discuss whether the presents have been good or mean as compared with former years. The first one that I ever saw, I believed to have come from good Father Christmas himself. Well, when I was 8 years old, I had not seen a Christmas tree. And the very first picture of one I ever saw was the picture of that held by Old Father Christmas in my godmother's picture book. "What are those things on the tree?" I asked. "Candles," said my father. "No, Father, not the candles. The other things." "Those are toys, my son." "Are they ever taken off?" "Yes, they are taken off and given to the children who stand around the tree." Patty, that's his sister, Patty and I grasped each other by the hand and with one voice murmured, "How kind of Old Father Christmas." By and by I asked, "How old is Father Christmas?" My father laughed and said, 1,830 years, child, which was then the year, and thus 1,830 years since the first great Christmas day. Well, November and December went by, and still the picture book kept all its charm for Patty and me, and we pondered on and loved Old Father Christmas. Christmas week came. Christmas Eve came. My father and mother were mysteriously and unaccountably busy in the parlor. We had only one parlor, and Patty and I were not allowed to go in. We went into the kitchen. But even here was no place of rest for us. Kitty was all over the place, as she phrased it, and cakes and mince pies and puddings were with her. As she justly observed, there was no place there for children and books to sit with their toes in the fire when a body wanted to be at the oven all day long. The cat was enough for her. So while everyone was busy in the house, the children went outside to play. And while they were there, they saw something exciting. "Look!" I looked. An old man was coming along the lane. His hair and beard were as white as cotton wool. He had a face like the sort of apple that keeps well in winter. His coat was old and brown. There was snow about him in patches, and he carried a small fir tree. We both thought the same thing. It's Old Father Christmas. Well, I know now that it was only an old man of the place with whom we did not happen to be acquainted, and that he was taking a little fir tree up to the hall to be made into a Christmas tree. He was a very good-humored old fellow, and rather deaf, for which he made up by smiling and nodding his head a good deal, and saying, "Aye, aye, to be sure," at likely intervals. As he passed us and met our earnest gaze, he smiled and nodded so earnestly that I was bold enough to cry, "Good evening, Father Christmas." "Same to you," said he in a high-pitched voice. "Then you are Father Christmas?" said Patty. "And a Happy New Year," was Father Christmas' reply, which rather put me out. But he smiled in such a satisfactory manner that Patty went on, "You're very old, aren't you?" "So I be, miss, so I be," said Father Christmas, nodding. "Father says you're 1,830 years old," I muttered. "Aye, aye, to be sure," said Father Christmas. "I'm a long age." "A very long age," thought I. "Aye, aye," said Father Christmas, but he did not seem to think anything of it. After a pause, he held up the tree and cried, "Do you know what this is, little miss?" "A Christmas tree?" said Patty, and the old man smiled and nodded. I leaned over the wall and shouted, "But there are no candles." "By and by," said Father Christmas, nodding as before. "When it's dark, they'll all be lighted up. That'll be a fine sight." "Toys, too, there'll be, won't there?" said Patty. Father Christmas nodded his head. "And sweeties," he said expressively. I could feel Patty trembling, and my own heart beat fast. The thought which agitated us both was this: was Father Christmas bringing the tree to us? But very anxiety and some modesty also kept us from asking outright. Only when the old man shouldered his tree and prepared to move on, I cried in despair, "Oh, are you going?" "I'm coming back by and by," said he. "How soon?" cried Patty. "About 4 o'clock," said the old man, smiling. "I'm only going up yonder." And nodding and smiling as he went, he passed away down the lane. Up yonder? This puzzled us. Father Christmas had pointed, but so indefinitely that he might have been pointing to the sky or the fields or the little wood at the end of the squire's grounds. I thought the latter, and suggested to Patty that perhaps he had some place underground, like Aladdin's cave, where he got the candles and all the pretty things for the tree. This idea pleased us both, and we amused ourselves by wondering what old Father Christmas would choose for us from his stores in that wonderful hole where he dressed his Christmas trees. "I wonder, Patty," said I, "why there's no picture of Father Christmas' dog in the book." For at the old man's heels in the lane there crept a little brown and white spaniel, looking very dirty in the snow. "Perhaps it's a new dog that he's got to take care of his cave," said Patty. When we went indoors and examined the picture afresh by the dim light from the passage window, there was no dog there. My father passed us at this moment and patted my head. "Father," said I don't know, but I think old Father Christmas is going to bring us a Christmas tree tonight." "Who's been telling you that?" said my father. But he passed on before I could explain that we had seen Father Christmas himself and had had his word for it, that he would return at 4 o'clock and that the candles on his tree would be lighted as soon as it was dark. We hovered on the outskirts of the rooms till 4 o'clock came. We sat on the stairs and watched the big clock, which I was just learning to read. And Patty made herself giddy with constantly looking up and counting the strokes, toward which the hour hand slowly moved. We put our noses in the kitchen now and then to smell the cakes and get warm, And we hung about the parlor door, where we were most unjustly accused of trying to peep. What did we care what Mother and Father were doing in the parlor? We, who had seen old Father Christmas himself, and were expecting him back at every moment. At last, the church clock struck. The sounds boomed heavily through the frost, and Patty thought there were 4 of them. Then, after due choking and whirring, our own clock struck, and we counted the strokes quite clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got Kitty's shawl once more and stole out back into the yard. We ran to our old place and peeped, but could see nothing. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to wait until tomorrow to find out if old Father Christmas is coming back and if he's going to bring them a Christmas tree. Why don't we end our time together today with another Christmas carol? And this one is about the Magi, or the wise men, we 3 kings. And if you know it and would like to, why don't you sing with me? We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Thank you for singing and reading and decorating with me today. Let's do it again tomorrow. All right, I'll see you then. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. That not only encourages me, it also makes a big difference to my channel and helps others find videos they would enjoy too. Wishing you a joyful season and a happy day. I'll see you tomorrow.